because yeah, I don't know what's going on, and at this rate, I'm not gonna be having gaps. So for those who are gonna be confused, I'm gonna delete the past streams, and we're gonna pick this back up a different day, Coffee Talk. Luckily I did not save, so hopefully I will proper going through all of it, and I'm kind of getting sick and tired of, like, it cutting me off, and I don't want to keep just doing it and hope it doesn't cut me off and you don't miss a bit of big story beats, because it's important. So we're gonna chill on the main menu again as long as I can here. If it's like 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes. If it's fine with not doing it right now, just because I'm not really in the biggest mood to read right now anyway. I mean, I was reading, but I wasn't really fully, I feel like, invested into it, like, fully. Like, I wasn't committing. That's what I meant, committing to the thing. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why my internet is being strange right now, or if it's like something else that's disconnecting it. I cannot tell you what it is, but yeah, that's kind of the situation right now. But like I said, so I'm gonna delete those streams, and we're gonna pick this back up probably next weekend. That's the concept. And my cat's going off, and I don't know why, but then he is. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm just gonna say hello, hi. How have you been? It's been good for my end. I hope it's been good for your end. I don't know. I don't know. I really haven't. I already gave my whole update thing. That's a problem. I already had my podcast. I already had my episode where I was talking with you guys, and my cat is really being annoying. Hold on. That's still gonna be annoying in a minute, but yeah. But no, I already gave all my updates for, like, what's gonna happen in next month, so, probably, probably gonna be, like I said, like, I'm gonna have, like, the community posting, but I'll go over it again, just for those who don't know. But yeah, so next month is going to be my 10-year anniversary on YouTube. Holy cow, crazy, I know. I've been doing this for 10 years. Like, consistently been doing it, kind of thing. But yeah, so I am going to have a thing where I will, have every, like, weekend there's going to be, like, some form of an upload of fun goodies and such. So, it will start, hold on, let me get my calendar up. The first upload for, like I said, next month is going to be some stuff of me doing, streamy, and such, like, video stuff that's gonna be uploaded and all that. So yeah, the 6th is gonna be my funny moments / like whatever memorable moments, compilation video. After that, on the 13th, it's gonna be Q&A since Fun Fact stream. Then the 14th is gonna be old drawing showcase video. Then on the 20th is a reaction to old videos stream. Then the 21st is going to be recreating early videos, and then finally on the 28th, the date of my anniversary, is going to be a drawing challenge, which is going to be a fun little thing. So yeah, that's pretty much the schedule. I'm mentioning it again just because why not? I guess I should. That's probably something I should be doing is advertising or that kind of thing. So yeah, so that's what's the month planned going to happen. That's all the fun stuff. So yeah, keep an eye out. Like I said, do a community post still anyway, like I think a week before, so that way y'all have like a little sheet and all to be able to see when everything's coming out. But yeah, so that's what next month entails. Right now, again, I thought I was gonna play Coffee Talk, but with how weird my internet and things like being, I don't know how long, and I don't want, like, things to skip ahead and stuff like that. I've done that so many times that at this rate, I'm kind of in the day where, like, I'm not wanting to fight it. So, I'd rather just do this a different day and hope that it works, kind of thing. Considering, again, I purposely didn't save so I can, purposely, go start beginning again, but I will delete those, like, prior, streams. So, yeah. If you all confused, you all were seeing them and it's like, wait, they're gone. It's like, yeah, it's intentional. Don't worry. I will backtrack. We will do those again, that part. So, but yeah, that's really that kind of thing. I don't really have much else that way when it comes to video channel stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely frustrating when like my internet is not working the way it should, because then it's like moments like this where I'm like, I am trying, and the keyword is trying, to have things work, and then all of a sudden it cuts off, and it's like, I don't know. I was starting to get frustrated with that recently, type of thing. It feels like it's happened more often, and I didn't like that when I did like Sly Cooper stream. Luckily, I was able to backtrack enough to like where it wasn't terribly bad, but it was still really, really annoying. So yeah, that's where it sucks. But you know, with here, it's like, yeah, I can't really backtrack, or if I can, I don't know how, you know, kind of thing. But I didn't really want to anyway, because it's just like, ugh. What are you doing, dog? My dog's like scratching at the. Why are you doing it? Why are you pawing at the carpet? My dog's pawing at the carpet over here. She likes laying on the carpet we have in front of the door. I do not know why. She likes it. I cannot tell you. So, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just like I said, it's frustrating. So, hopefully, like by next week it'll be a little better. We'll see. But yeah, recent endeavors I've been playing Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2, and I had a whole endeavor of having the first game, because I never actually played Budokai 1, back in the day. I never did. So, I recently bought it, original PS2 version of it, not the HD version, because I wasn't paying that much money, even though I still had to pay a little bit more money, in general with it. So, I think my internet's also going again. And this might be where I get cut off. Yep, this is gonna be definitely where I get cut off. Oh, nope. Okay, I think I just had a gap. Sorry. I thought I was gonna get cut off for a second, and I still might be. That still might be a hint. Anyway. Long story short, I got Budokai, and I really liked it. And I'm still playing it, and it's interesting playing that game, because I played the second game and I played the third game. The third game is one of my favorites out of the series. It's such a good game. I love the fighting mechanics and stuff like that. I know everyone's like a fan of like certain aspects of that game, but I mean it's known for being one of the best ones though out of the series. But yeah, no, but like I never played Infinite World either. I don't know if I will play Infinite World, maybe eventually, but yeah. But Budokai 1, interesting. I can see why people have a lot of nostalgia for that game. It's very interesting and fun. Sometimes really frustrating to play, especially when you're backtracking. I didn't intend to backtrack, but it was just one of those things where I was like, I want to play Budokai again. I was like, I'm gonna do Budokai 2, and I was like, well, I kind of want to get the first Budokai game, because I never played it, and I want to kind of complete my little collection, so that was kind of the vibe. And wow, things are not doing too hot for this. If at least make it to 10 minutes, I'd be good. That, but oh yeah, no, internet. Something's going on up there for sure with my internet, and I don't know what it is, and I apologize. And if it's not streaming, I'm sorry. Wow, it's really not looking too hot. I hope it's not YouTube trying to like screw with me. I've heard some people have issues sometimes when they start streaming or like recording with the weird nonsense that they're doing on YouTube. Don't even get me started with that. The amount of like actual honest to God fear I've been having with like accidentally clicking on doing something that's gonna get triggered, the AI verification thing to trigger. But that's a different discussion. This is not the day to be talking about that, because it's like, one, again, I kind of want to, like I said, I want legit having issues. There's something like definitely wrong with my internet right now. So, let me see if I can get on my phone and make sure this is still streaming. It seems like there are a lot of problems. So let me see. The other one's live. I know for a fact it's not live. The other one's live. I know for a fact it's not live. So, yeah, okay, I'm still going. That's good. Get out. Stop it. So, no, it's being tricky. No, but definitely my internet is definitely going wonk. So, that's fun. So, yeah, that's not the thing right now. But, yeah, so no, that's what I've been doing. I've been playing the Budokai games again. Budokai 1's interesting. It's a fun vibe. I'm glad I have the original version. But yeah, I was having problems actually getting the game because I bought it from someone and then, because I also got it on eBay because, you know, it's not something you just buy normally at a store. But I bought one on eBay. It said it was working and things like that, but it actually didn't work because there's a gnarly scratch on it. Little fun factoid for you people. The top part of the disc is just as important as the bottom part of the disc. You don't want the top part of the disc to be scratched up, at least not too badly. A little bit of the paint and art can be scratched, but if it's a moment where you can see through the paint and stuff like that, like if you put it up to a really, like, you know, like a nice light where you can actually, you know, see like a lot of like details and stuff like that, you will see, if you can see through, my cat's going insane, if you see through the, like a scratch or something, not good. Usually not good. Sometimes you may be lucky if that happens and it does play properly, but for the one I bought, definitely not good. It was definitely in a spot where it would not start the game. So I had to go back and get another version of the game. So I had to wait like another week before actually being able to play it properly. Luckily, I was still like playing the second Budokai game. So that was that kind of situation. But yeah, no, that is a little factoid if y'all wondering like, why is my game not working? It looks fine. You know, on the back, it's like you might want to check the front and see if there's any like scratching that way, and maybe put it up to a light and see if there's a scratch that is like see-through. Because 9 times out of 10, if it's a scratch that's see-through, you're kind of screwed. No offense, but yeah, you're kind of screwed. My cat, what is up with you? What did you knock over in the kitchen, by the way? I heard you knock something over in the kitchen. Don't sass me. I know you did. But yeah, no, but like that was fun. There's a lot of things about discs that are weird. The whole trick about using toothpaste type of thing, sort of works sometimes. Again, it depends on the level of what we're counting as working, because I think it's only worked like one time in my life where I saw that method and I was like, okay, I'll do it, you know, and it worked. And that was for like my WWE SmackDown Shut Your Mouth game, because that game actually used to work very poorly, because it's been loved. It's been played so many times, and I got to a point where like the loading screens would it would never load anything, kind of thing. If it did, it would take like 5 minutes for something to load, and it sucks when you're doing like the story mode, because it's like everything, it's like pretty much half that part is like loading. So yeah, so like I finally decided to do that trick with it, and it worked actually well. Surprisingly. Couldn't tell you why, though, is the point. The thing is, it's like, here's the thing about the toothpaste method. I've also heard deodorant, too. Not as often, but it's mostly, like, toothpaste. Is, the whole concept is that what they tell you is that, like, you put, obviously, a good, you know, ish amount of toothpaste, not too much, obviously, where it's impossible, but just, like, a good coating on it, you know, of toothpaste. And the whole point is that it's supposed to, like, leave it for, like, a few minutes, and then, like, it fills in the cracks that, like, the disc is having a hard time reading, and it supposedly works better. Here's the thing that I will say, is it depends on what cracks it's filling in. If it's filling in the cracks with the loading thing, it probably is fine, because, like, if your game's not loading well, it probably will work better, because that's the problem with my WWE Shut Your Mouth game, was that the loading was just abysmal. It would never load properly. The thing is, it's like, probably what helps it feeling the coding is that it just kind of makes it where, like, it doesn't need to load, you know, like, as much, you know, like, it's not, like, trying to lag on to, like, I think completely filling up the whole screen, because load screens are made specifically to, again, that's what the term is, load the game. They're loading in the pixels and the, you know, stuff like that needs to be in the game, kind of thing. And I wonder, you know, like, if you think about it hard enough, it's like, it's probably not, like, loading in everything, but it's loading in just enough when you code it like that. But the thing is, there are moments where it's, like, a very important aspect of the game. You know, like, starting the game, for example, it's something where it's, like, it has to be able to start the game. If it's scratched there, and you try filling it in, it just won't work. It just not gonna work well. So that's my problem with the toothpaste method. It works to an extent, is the point. Because again, once the data's gone, that data's gone, is the point. That's the part, you know, where it's like, yes, physical media is fantastic, but again, physical media doesn't last forever, and that's the scary thing, you know, about that, is like, physical media doesn't last forever, so you kind of need to find ways to combat it. So, yeah, I'm not saying don't do the toothpaste method, but if it's like, don't do it like the first shot, because also it can ruin your disc too. If you don't know what you're doing, how to clean it off, and make sure you have to clean it off properly and everything like that. You have to, there's so many steps. Some people will just smudge that stuff on. You can't just smudge that stuff on. Never put it in a circle. Always go upward. That's how I would read the disc. Doing circles is not good. Yeah, no. The toothpaste method, like, do it if it's a last resort type of thing. Do it if, like, nothing, like, basic working, like, doing a basic clean, you know? So nice, like, sometimes soap and water is all you need. Sometimes, man. Sometimes not even soap and water. Sometimes just wiping it, you know, a little bit with a clean cloth. You know, I all know we all do it. We all use our shirts. We're nasty that way, but don't do it. It's not great, you know, for the disc. We all do it, though. But, you know, try maybe doing clean cloth, and it should be enough sometimes. But it's like, if you're getting to an extent where, like, it's really not working, you can do the toothpaste method. But at that point, if you're doing the toothpaste method, you know what, you're in the deep end at that point, and you know, like, if that doesn't work, you're kind of screwed. And that's kind of how I was like, yep, you know, sometimes it works, most of the time it doesn't. So, because everyone's like, do the toothpaste thing, and it's like, I see it a lot, and I want to address it. It's one of those things where it's just like, it's not like professional surfacing, you know, like, that they're trying to kind of claim. Professionally, even resurfacing doesn't work either sometimes. You really have to know what you're doing with that. And some people, I've seen people do it. I've seen people, like, try to resurface their own disc and stuff like that, and it scares me, because it's like, what are you doing? You know? It's, yeah, I don't know. Just, yeah, take caution. I'm only saying this because physical media is a thing where it's like, again, like, physical media is becoming less of a thing, and I think physical media should be more of a thing. The problem is, again, physical media is a double-edged sword, and especially now, more than ever, with games like, you know, I'm trying to play, like, Budokai and stuff like that. That sucks, because that game that got, like, really damaged the first one, that's one less Budokai game in the world, is the point. If you put it, like, in that aspect. That's one less. It will not start, no matter how hard I try. And I don't think there's anything to really fix it, is the point. And that sucks. It is literally just plastic now, is the thing. And that sucks, is the thing. Because now someone has lost the chance to be able to play it, like, you know, on their own, you know, PS2 console. And that's not good, is the point, you know. I shouldn't have had to buy a second, you know, version of the disc that actually works, is the point. You know, but that happens. It's a thing about, especially like earlier discs nowadays, it's not as easy to do it, to get them like scratched like that, you know, kind of thing. They're better coated and everything like that, versus back then it was not as great, but it still very much sucks, is the point. And yeah, media preservation is really important, and it's things like that where it's like, you know, yeah, I don't think emulation is all that bad. I think emulation is fine, you know, at that moment. Because again, here's another thing too. PS2s, again, are not like a dime a dozen. I mean, I understand that I have my own PS2 and it still works, but it's like still something like I have to maintain and keep up nowadays. And not everybody wants to do that. And I get that. That's pretty valid, you know? Keeping and hearing for like a console is like, you know, who wants to actually like, you know, go and like make sure their console's like clean every like few months and stuff like that. Like, no one wants to really do it. Even though with the PS5 they have the whole, oh, we make it easier to like, you know, dust, you know, trap your things and all that. You know, people still don't clean those out as often. It still gets really dusty and things like that. The problem is no one wants to, man. It's one of those things where it's like, you have to go and actually do something. You have to go and open it up, and you have to do something. Even if it's not that hard, it's still something that someone doesn't want to do, and I understand it, kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, where it's a, like, emulation, maybe not PS5 emulation, we're not there yet, but I'm just saying, like, even with, like, a modern console that lets you clean, some people don't do it. So, imagine older consoles, which, yeah, you know, sophisticated or not is another story, you know. It's like, yeah, not everyone wants to open up their console and clean it, you know. So I understand why people were like, I'd rather have a PS2 emulator, you know, than actually have a PS2. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. My point is, preservation is really important. And I think that's something that's, yeah, I think really annoying that, you know, I'm not gonna say who, but you all know who I'm talking about. Certain people don't like to, you know, have their, you know, games and stuff like that accessible to a modern audience for some ungodly reason, but they get mad because people, you know, who are like, oh, these people want these accessibility of, like, older games, make it accessible, like emulation, they get all angry. And it's annoying, because it's like, so you're not gonna make it available, or at least available in a way that's, like, you know, not about the same price as, like, you know, a modern game, but you're gonna get angry at people for, like, you know, actually trying to make it accessible and actually want to play a game. Like, it's stupid. It sucks. Again, you all know who I'm talking about. So, I'm not saying who, because I don't want to get in trouble, because it could be anybody, though. Could be anyone I'm talking about. Who knows? But if you know, you know. But yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating. It's annoying. It's stupid, and you know, it's things like that. But yeah, no. Physical media preservation is important. There's also a thing I was looking at, like VHSs. Again, I think we talked about this in the last stream, but I kind of want to go backtrack a little bit because yeah, it is important. VHSs again are like hitting their way past actually hit their you know, lifespan type of thing. Again, they're 15 to 25 years. So yeah, a lot of them not too good now, you know, very old. So like, once of course you know how to take care of your VHSs, probably the best thing to do now is, yeah, to get whatever's off of them and put them on like some type of format that works for you, you know, is the point. Whether you want to put it on like a USB, or you just have it on your computer, or you have it on a hard drive or something, like, get it now, because it's like, yeah, like, it, okay, like I said, not directly right now, but now in the sense of like sometime in the near future, you know, within like a year, you know, type of thing, because it's like, you never know if it's gonna make it the next year, you know, kind of thing. So, you know, that's a thing, and it's like, again, finding like converters is like really easy on Amazon. They're like really cheap. Again, how I do it and how I did it with like my parents' wedding video, because it was on like a VHS, and I did it is, again, I used my recording setup for like my PS2, you know, slash PS3-ish, you know, setup. I'm not a fan of PS3 setup, but that's neither here nor there. I will get to that and fix that eventually, where I can do normal HD, but I have like a, you know, a RGB cable that's you know, converts to a HDMI kind of converter type of thing. You then just have to have a way to connect your TV to the excuse me, the converter part of it, and then have the RGB cable connected to the VHS, and then you have a way to connect it to the computer, and then bada bing, bada boom, just get OBS, it's free, you know, kind of thing, and then just record it, and there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. You know, pretty simple and easy. It's not like that difficult at all. You don't really need to you don't need to be a tech whiz to do it. You just need the right things and you're good, you know, type of thing, you know. But yeah, like my recording setup mostly works for it, just because, again, it is a converting thing. That's all you're really doing. You don't even need to do HDMI type of converter. I have an old thing too I can use too, where it's I mean, not that you can do that too. You don't even need to do HDMI, but if you want like a little bit of a better looking image, you can do it. It's not like crazy better, but it's like it's a little better looking, you know, type of thing. It looks a tiny bit better if done right, you know, with like certain settings and stuff like that. But like, you don't even need to do HDMI. I just have that way because it's like, that's just my recording setup currently. But yeah, you can do like my older setup where it's just like, yeah, like RGB cable connector where like it connects to the like not only the VHS, you know, as I say recorder, why am I calling VHS? Recorder. Player. And you can also connect it to the TV, and then there you go. And then you can plug it to the computer. Again, you still can use OBS for that, and then it works, and it's good, and it's fun. And, you know, you can get the old stuff of your recording, your family, old Christmas, you know, footage where you were opening gifts and stuff like that, or your birthday, or whatever, you know, all the good stuff, you know, all your family stuff. It's a thing. Or what, maybe some old, like, recordings you had back in the day. Maybe you want to get some old commercials off of, a VHS, because it's like you want nostalgia for it, or something like that, or maybe there's a show that, like, is really hard to come by, and you still have it on VHS or something, you can, like, just put it on disc. I don't know. Whatever you want. That's the beauty of it. Of that kind of thing. But it's like, you know, again, it's like the clock is kind of running out for that kind of thing, and the problem is, the only thing that you probably may run a issue by, at least in the sense of, like, you know, something is that you may not have, you still have the VHS, but you not have a player anymore. So that might be your only thing where you might be a little more concerned by. But honestly, maybe even going to, like, a Goodwill or your local thrift store, you may be able to find, like, a good priced, VHS player, if, you know, you look right. I don't know, let's go if you do want to pay on Amazon, or not Amazon, eBay, for one, that's fine too, but I think you're better off just thrifting for it, because it'll probably be way cheaper. If they're not one of those crazy people who look on, like, websites on, like, eBay all the time and do that kind of thing, because that sucks in its own way. But yeah, no, you can do that. But again, media preservation is important. So, preserve your stuff is the point, because yeah, like I said, VHSs are kind of hitting their expiration dates, and it's not great. Discs can last at least a bit longer, depends on how you care for them. Again, the keyword is depends. Even the best taken care of discs will go eventually. If you've not heard of disc rot, my god, you've not heard the horrors. Disc rot is one of the scariest things you can possibly tell anyone, because if anyone has ever experienced disc rot, you know what I'm talking about. Disc rot is one of the worst things. It is something that, like, even a disc that, like, is pretty much, even in, like, again, the pristine, you know, condition, once your disc starts having disc rot, it's done. It's gone. It's gone. Completely. And it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's essentially the foil and, the coating for it. It's, like, completely, like, rots away. It becomes all, like, gross and, disintegrates and things like that. It's horrible. And it sucks, because, again, once it happens, nothing much you can do about it. So that's the part that's a little scarier. Luckily, discs, again, last quite longer. That's something that, like, you would really have to be, like, in a bad position for that to happen. It's not something that happens very easily. Thankfully, as long as you take care of your discs pretty well, it should be fine. But again, it will happen eventually to all discs type of thing. But luckily, again, discs, CDs, things like that last quite a bit longer, at least. They have a much more longer shelf life. I think it's like 50 or so years, I think. Maybe 50 to 75 or something years, I think they have, like, on a good one. If you're really taking care of it, if you're not, like, if you never touch that disc, obviously you might maybe go down to maybe more, like, 35, 40, odd years, maybe with that. But yeah, the discs have a little bit longer shelf life, thankfully, but still, again, be careful with them, because yeah, I don't know, with people actually trying to backtrack the physical media, it's actually nice, because with everything being so digital, people are kind of getting tired of digital and wanting to actually own things. People are actually backtracking to that, which is kind of nice. Actually, not kind of, it's very nice, actually. There's something about physical media that's just so... It feels good. It's not even just the, oh, I own this thing. It's just the, oh, there's something I can hold in my hand and it's real kind of feeling. Having, like, a box that has a game in it. You can open the game and you can have it, like, hold it. It's just, I don't know, there's something about it that is kind of nice. I don't know. It's not like it used to be. Man, that's the thing. At least I was able, with the Budokai game, I got like the box version first before I decided just to buy the disc, because again, problems with the disc initially, but I still have like the box, and it was nice, and it was cool, like being able to open the box, and there was like the manual in it, and like reading through the manual and things like that. I miss reading through the manual. I know it's kind of a waste of paper, but also there was something nice about it, because it was just like its own little story. They really did a lot to like engage you with the manual for about, you know, not only were you learning how to play the game, but you were like getting like cool little things, you know. It was fun. It was nice to go through it. It felt like a little mini book, you know, in a way. And then you get to play the game, and it's fun. I mean, they made a whole good point about how like it's nice to be able to like just pop in a game, and you don't have to wait for it to download updates. You just play the game, and that's it. That's all you need to do, you know. And that's nice, and there is something nice about that, where you can just, again, just pop in a game, it starts immediately, you don't have to wait for the update or nothing, you can just be like, yep, you're going in. You can start within the first, like, 5 minutes, you know. Of course, you gotta watch the intro for the first time. So, that's the important part, of course, that's the vibe. So, yeah, I don't know, like, there is something I miss about that, so, I don't know. We can backtrack a little bit, maybe not on game manuals, but yeah, be able to, you know, open the game up and hold the game for a minute. I mean, yeah, you might have to wait for the download for a little bit, which sucks, but, you know, having physical games is nice, and just physical stuff in general, so, I don't know. I understand not everybody can do it, but, you know, convenience and all that type of thing, you know, to have things digitally, but man, if you can get physical, it's definitely worth it in the long run, because they can't just be like, yoink, this is ours now. Actually, you never owned it in the first place. That you can't, like, they can't take your disc. They can't do that. They can't take your disc away from you. It's like, no, it's mine. I already bought it with my money, and I have it physically, and you can't take it away from me. They can't come knocking at your door to take it, you know? If they do, that's insane at that rate. I don't know why they're doing that. At that point, I'd be more concerned about where we're at in the world that way. So, you know, that is one thing, but otherwise, yeah, you know, having a physical disc is nice, because then you can say mine. When they say, no, it's ours, it's like, no, mine. I bought it. I spent money on this. I took time to buy this, and now it's mine, so go away. You know? So, yeah, I don't know, there is that kind of thing. But, yeah, that's my little ramble of physical media. Or physical media preservation in general. But yeah, I don't know, I just wanted to rant about that, in that regard. I think I'm gonna keep this as a shorter stream, just because I don't really got much else to talk about, or say, or whatnot. That was kind of the vibe I had, so, sorry, like I said, I wish I was able to actually play Coffee Talk properly today, but again, it was starting to act weird, and I could have maybe went back and started it again, but, I think it's better to do it on, you know, a different day, where I hope that the internet doesn't just start acting weird and cut me off and stuff like that in that regard, but, you know, it is what it is, you know, but hey, you got the nice little, moving, main menu screen with the nice chill music while I was talking, so, you know, good vibes, kinda like old-fashioned. I used to kinda do some streams like this back in the day before I started actually doing proper podcasting setup, so, you know, a little classic for y'all, a little throwback for you guys, but yeah, like I said, hopefully next week, next Saturday, I will be able to play Coffee Talk properly and not have any problems. Like I said, I'm gonna delete the older streams so that way it's not confusing, kind of thing, and just obviously leave the stream up for you guys to watch and enjoy still, at least have a little something for you guys. But yeah, like I said, in the next couple of weeks, expect, a community post showing all of the dates of when my 10-year anniversary streams/videos are gonna come out. I'm probably still gonna talk about the dates every stream anyway, just to have it, you know, whatever, so you guys at least know. But yeah, I don't know, that's the plan, that's the takeaway. But yeah, hopefully you all enjoy the stream. If you like it, if you dislike it, dislike it. Comment below what you thought, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one, hopefully without any problems. So bye.